Harold Baines and Lee Smith were inducted Sunday to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And here to talk to us about it is Mark Gonzales of the Chicago Tribune, who covered both those guys in Chicago. Let's start with Harold Baines. What makes him a Hall of Famer?
He was a steady. He hit 384 homers, which doesn't sound that overwhelming, but he had 2,866 hits. Motto consistency, and I think that's the big thing that he played. He never had bad years, and one of the recurring themes of Harold Baines is, take what the pitcher gives you, and he did that over a long period. And the fact that he did it for many teams, I think certainly there was always that asterisk next to him because of the DH, but he still hit. And you can't penalize a guy because he was just a DH because it was out of his hands.
Do you think he was penalized by the baseball writers for being a DH?
I'm not so sure of that. I think there's always an attachment as far as getting 3,000 hits. He fell short, but as Jerry Reinsdorf, the chairman, pointed out last night, was he got hurt by the strike. It probably cost him, a season and a half of games, which might have gotten him over the 3,000 mark.
Now, you covered Lee Smith as well in Chicago. What kind of a pitcher was he? What do you think about him and his Hall of Fame credentials?
He was just dominant. I mean, he was like the first of those guys that could give you, 2 innings or so. And I think the development of his slider made him even more effective because he was a menacing force at 6'5" and 250 pounds, and he was going to throw 95, 96 mile an hour, but he became more polished with the slider.
And for a long time, he was the all-time saves leader. Maybe the Baseball Writers Association messed that one up.
I don't know. That's another thing you can make an argument along with the DH is the value of the closer, but certainly he came in there with a game on the line and it had 478 saves, and it stood for, I think, 13 years. It says a lot.
What kind of a pitcher was he?
Just a dominant pitcher, but he kept guys off balance with that slider.
All right. That's Mark Gonzales of the Chicago Tribune talking Lee Smith and Harold Baines.